Hello guys. Hi. Um, so I just wanted to address the last episode. I don't know what was going on, guys. Like I was depressed. Like I can't even blame wow, I need to stop doing that. But I can't even blame anyone or anything or I can't even excuse it or say, oh, maybe I was on my period, da 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 da. No, I was not even ovulating or anything like that. I was just depressed, sad, in a gloomy mood. Like, it was just giving gloomy. And I feel like, I feel as though that's not really me, but it also is. There's a certain part of me that's perpetually emo all the time. But then there's also parts of me that are Flower Girl. Like, imagine Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator, but Flower Girl. 2017. Um, you know, Visco Girl, hashtag art ho era. I feel like that's me at my core. That's how I interact all the time. And I think it's partially because I'm a romantic, at heart. I am a romantic. And I feel like as a romantic, I have a duty to the world, you know, to be romantic. But then sometimes I'm so romantic that I don't give myself the time to be depressed. So I need to slot those parts out. I need to put them out like literally specific times of the month where I can be depressed about the world so that I get it out. Because if I don't, it's gonna stay in my system, you know? And yeah, I'm just like I think I'm trying to figure out a routine, when can I be emo and when can I be myself again, you know? But it's just weird. I don't know, there's no routine to it. Sometimes I'll literally be not even joyful, just super light and airy and fairy and then the next day I'm giving goblin, I'm Draco, what is it called? Draconian. Yeah, it's giving reptile, it's giving Severus Snape. Sometimes I'm like that, and then other times I'm whimsicott or starry night, you know. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to address that because it's not even that's who I am all the time. Like I said, I wanted to be more open and stuff, but that's not even me all the time. You know, I don't know how to explain. I feel it's really hard to encapsulate someone's being in a video and be yeah, this is who they are. I think I said that in my last episode, but it's true. There is so much to a person, like so much more than how we appear and how we talk to each other and how we do anything. There's so much more to us, so much more that to us than what we wear, our style, our aesthetic, what we say. I already said that, but how we move around the world. We are more than our bodies, our thoughts, our things. You know, we're more than what the costume that we are. I literally just heard this, but I think Socrates or someone like that said something about um we're all in drag or something we're all naked basically, but life is in drag, you know. And I feel that's so true. And it makes it really hard to distinguish what does being authentic even mean. If I say, oh, I want to be myself, what does that even mean? Because we are such vast beings. Any part of ourselves can be ourselves. Do you get what I mean? And it also depends who's in your surroundings, what are you near, what are you being exposed to, because we are also what we consume around us, you know, just as much as what we consume is part of us. Sometimes it can be it lets us know, oh, this is what I don't like, or this is who I'm not. But by knowing what's not you, that's how you know who you are. And I feel it's just so we are so much more than how we try to binarily distinguish ourselves. And I think in this day and age, there's such a focus on like self-help content. Like, I won't even lie, like I started off this channel, like, honing in on that, and like honing in on taking care of myself, or like getting to know myself, because um like that's what I felt at the time. But now I've reached a point where it's like, bro, like, well, I've always reached this point, like I've always felt this way, but like I feel like I need to say it. But we're not like projects, like we're not here to be fixed. We're already fixed, like we're perfect. We're here to be experienced as we are, and to experience ourselves, so that we see the magic and all of that. And even like binary things like good or bad are so skewed. Like, they literally skew our perspective, because there's no such thing. We made that up to try and make sense of what we're experiencing. So like, it's just really interesting, like the little things that we do to make ourselves feel more like ourselves. And it's like, wow, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, you don't need to do that. Like, we're already ourselves. But I feel like this society really like puts a focus on individualism and just stuff like that. Like, for me, I won't even lie, like I'm wearing my hair out right now, and I haven't done that in years. Like, just letting my hair be out. I think I haven't let it be out like this, like fully, with no product in. Like, it's stretched out. It's literally like dry, stretched out, and like fuzzy, like no curl pattern, no, no curl pattern, no nothing. I haven't done that since like late 2021, before I got my hair done. And I got like these like really red long braids with a bunch of beads and stuff like that, because it just, I don't know, I felt like my hair was boring, like just being black, like just black hair, which is like so not true. Like, my hair is not even fully black, it's like a dark brown, but like that's not even really true. Like, I think, I don't know, I think a lot of how we think about ourselves is like in relation to what we're exposed to around us. I think because at the time I was in South Africa, like for me, like having your afro out was like a normal thing. But now, like, I'm back in the UK, and it's like, yo, like, and I'm in a white neighborhood, in like a white household. Like, my hair is super like extraordinary. Like, it's not, like, I'm the only one who thought that my hair wasn't punk enough, or like it wasn't alternative enough. Like, literally no one thought that. But like, also having braids and like beads is cool and stuff. But I realized, like, black women especially have such an extreme beauty standard. Like, our beauty standard is so crazy. Like how normal people, oh my gosh, like other races and stuff like that, they all have their own extremes when it comes to beauty standards. But I feel like with black women it's so much worse. And that's because like it's really not even like, it's more of on an individual basis, and like also based on stereotypes and the images that get put on black women, and the things that we project onto ourselves and stuff like that, or like things that get projected onto us from other people. And it just makes us feel the need to strive for a really unattainable beauty. Like, for example, in the UK, there's really like, there's this like whole aesthetic, especially when it comes to black girls, like the British baddie, basically, like literally the lace front wig laid down, like lashes, nails, like face beat to the gods. And it's beautiful, like, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely amazing. But then we also have these young girls that feel like they're not beautiful enough if they don't look like that 24/7, 368, or whatever. And I feel as though like the standards of beauty are getting more extreme as time goes on, and it affects like black women the most. Unironically, like it's affecting us the most, because first of all, we're different. Like, we're much more different than other races. Like, And I don't like to bring it back to hair and like racial features, but I am because, like pretty much, if not most races, have like straight hair or like hair that like weighs down like with gravity, like hair that's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's not like this, like there's nothing wrong with this. This is beautiful. But, and like, I feel like in terms of like a ratio of how like we perceive human beings, afro hair or like afro, yeah, like not even just curly hair, afro like hair, it's fine, it's thick, and it's super curly, so curly that sometimes you don't even see the curls. Like for me right now, the curls are undefined. I literally just blow dried it, put it in pigtails. Like it's literally stretched out right now, but like it just doesn't go down because it's not how my hair is. Like my hair literally goes up because I'm black, like that's just how it is. And I feel like for black women there's just this incessant need to like appear like mixed with something, or like to appear like racially ambiguous, I feel like white women had that standard as well, but for them it was much easier to achieve because they are already the beauty standard. Like white women are the beauty standard, they're what we look at when it comes to the beauty standard, and everyone else bases ourselves on it, because we can't ignore intersectionality. We can't ignore that our world is built upon sets of ideals, and white is that ideal, like rich and white, that's like the ideal. So even though there are some white women that may struggle with their own beauty, we can't lie and say that, oh, they're not the beauty standard, because they literally create it. They create a standard that all of us have to follow, or like are expected to follow, like society, like socially, like even if we don't, like we're expected to, and that's why you see like wigs and stuff like that, like getting super popular and stuff like that, which is like there's nothing wrong with creative expression, but we also can't ignore where these standards come from and why they're there in the first place, because by doing that we allow for harmful things to flow under the radar of our society, you know like with young girls, like especially young black girls. I remember when I was young, no one, like my mom didn't do my hair. Like I learned how to do my own hair. And like they relaxed my hair when I was like 5 years old. I had like super thick hair when I was younger, and I had dreads at one point, and then like they relaxed my hair, and it literally started falling out because of that. Like I had relaxed hair from when I was 5 years old to up until I was 13, 12. I did a big chop in 2017, and then I did another big chop last year. Like I don't know if you guys remember that, if you've been on this channel for long, but like my hair has actually grown a lot. But yeah, that's also another point. Like someone talked about how black women use long black hair, or like length of your hair, to determine your wealth, like as like a virtual signaling of your wealth, basically. They compared it to how white women would dye their hair blonde, like platinum blonde, like bleach blonde, as another virtual signifier for their wealth, because it takes a lot of time and money to, you know, maintain that. And someone said that that's kind of the equivalent to what we're seeing with black women who are in upper class doing now, which is like using their hair as a virtue signal for how wealthy they are compared to their non-wealthy counterparts, essentially. And like I really thought about that because it's honestly somewhat true. Like if you're in a low income environment, you don't really care about your hair like that. Like in most places where um in most places where like there's not enough money, or like like super rich areas, like you see a lot of people with like shaved heads, different types of hair. Like literally they care, but they don't care that much. Like let's not forget we're still under that beauty standard, but they don't even have the time to focus on that. Like they're literally trying to get their money out, like no crazy, like no joke. So when you see like black women like making an emphasis and focusing on these things, like I really saw this. I feel like it's not as much now, but it was much worse in like 2015, 2016. Like even with people who had relaxed hair, like if you had super long relaxed hair, it was a signal that you were probably rich because it's really hard to maintain that, you know? And like with black hair as well, it's super like rich. I don't know how to describe it, but it's supposed to be in a wealthy environment. It's the hair that's it's delicate and needs to be taken care of, otherwise it's not going to thrive, you know. And I feel like that's what they were touching upon. But stuff like that, like the beauty standard for black women is so insane. Like I rarely see like black women like be able to like literally just like do whatever they want with their hair without having to adhere to what other people around them think. Like I remember when I was like starting high school here, and like I literally would do any hairstyle because that was like kind of the beginning of my natural hair journey. And like bro, like I literally remember going into class and like people laughed at me, and I was literally like, what is actually so funny? Like it's what is funny? Like I literally just like my hair was short and I literally did like little two pigtails. Like it was really cute, I remember it. And people laughed at me and I was like, bro, like what is so funny? Like it's not even funny, it's just different. Like you're laughing because I'm different. But you know, like it's so weird that society has made like something different, like yeah, like our hair as something to like not like about ourselves, something that we need to hide, when it's literally extraordinary. Like it's literally something that we should wear with pride because we're different. Like we're different, that's a good thing, you know. Like I feel like I don't feel like it. It's true, like this society really panders on mediocrity because you know how like people say like, oh, black people look the same, oh, Asian people look the same. That's not really true. It's kind of like a projection because it's like whiteness is really built upon sameness. It's built upon like copy paste, like nuclear family, like literally like you have to look like this or you're weird, you get made fun of. Like that is what whiteness is built upon. You know, like that's white culture, having similar values, having similar taste, wearing the same things, having same culture, da da da, like liking football, da da da, like you know, like I feel like it's different in the UK a little bit because in the UK there's such a big class disparity, like and like it's much more different than America, but it's something that I've noticed in observing both cultures, you know, that like whiteness in most places and especially in the middle class is really built upon being like everyone else, but like in a cool, like not being too different but being different enough to be individual. Do you get what I mean? And that's like whoa, it like kind of opened my eyes, because then I realized that like there was absolutely nothing wrong with my hair. Like just because it wasn't straight doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. It was just different and people didn't know how to handle it. So because nobody wants to learn how to handle something, they instead just want you to change that so they don't have to address that within themselves. Like they don't have to address why they can't handle it, because then that opens a can of worms that they're probably not or maybe not ready to look into. Like I said, like a lot of stuff is really layered when it comes to beauty standard, and I always bring it back to black women because I am a black woman. Like I look at life from a black perspective. I'm not even like, I don't even know if I'm a woman. Like no shade, like no, I'm not very good on binaries. Like I don't like binary, you know. Like I identified as gender fluid for a really long time, but I don't even like that binary. Like I don't like calling myself that because then that puts me in another binary, you know. So now I'm just like a person. Like that's what I am. Like I'm a person, like you know. But I am walking through life being viewed as a black woman because people see me that way. And yeah, like it's just like growing up that way, being me, like it's just shown me a lot about how much we put on black women to adhere to a stereotype that wasn't even made for us in the first place, a stereotype that was never meant to include us because we just can't. Like I physically cannot make my hair look like a white person's hair even if I straighten it. It's just not gonna look the same. It's not. Even if I like, you know, go and get like a what is it called? A Dominican blowout whatever. Or if I get like yeah, like a bust down, like I don't know what it's called. Like it's like straightening, but it's another thing. It has another word. I know what it's called, but I forgot. It slipped my mind now. Um, but yeah, even if I straighten my hair, like it's not going to look like that. It's not gonna look how a white person's hair looks, and I'm okay with it. Like I've made peace with that. I feel like we should put less of an emphasis for like us women, black women, like to stop trying to like adhere to standards that literally are just harmful to us. Like what they don't even do anything for us. Like they just make us really insecure about ourselves instead of making us embrace our beauties. Like we should be focusing on what makes us beautiful instead of what we can improve about ourselves. We're not like we're people. We're experiencing ourselves, you know. We're not a project. We're a person. Like we're not here to just be better all the time and like have to go on like self-improvement journeys, because then you're just gonna meet, like that's what you're gonna attract. You're gonna attract situations that make you have to be better, or like make you have to be a better person, when you can just be yourselves, and the situations that are meant for you come to you. But again, like we don't even we don't even know ourselves, you know, like there's so much that isn't even binary. Like there's so much to how we view the world and how we try to mitigate it that just doesn't, like you can't, like everything is it's hard to explain, but you just can't, you know, like everyone has their own separate experiences in life, you know, and that's because every experience that you have is probably tailored to you to experience. And that also ties in with like your beauty. Like everyone has their own selective beauty, you know. A flower doesn't look at another flower and wish to be that flower, you know. Like you can look at a flower and admire its beauty and still realize you're also a flower. And I feel like the way that we're going, like this self-help, self-actualization, self very critical way of moving is harmful, extremely harmful for us as a society, especially as women. We already have enough like enough pressures like of how to act, of how to be. You need to be petite and demure, you need to be like quiet, you need to be da 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 da. Like we already have so many things that are etched onto us as women, and now we're also being told like what to do to manage like existing in this world. Like why do we have to cater to everyone else so that they can accept us instead of them learning to accept us? Like why do we have to teach people to accept us when they can do that themselves, you know? It's something that I've been thinking about a lot, and I think I'm going to touch on this on another episode or like the next episode, but particularly the way that we view women in romantic relationships and how we expect them to act, and like how we just put so much on them. Like we expect women to just know when a situation gets toxic, or like to completely cut someone off just because they're exhibiting signs that might be toxic. And now like you're literally making this person like cut off the love of their life because like you were like, oh yeah, they're toxic. Like you view them as toxic, so now like you literally start viewing that woman as worse for like literally going after what they want. And it happens a lot. Like it's not even like I've actually experienced this like more than one time, where like people looked at me differently for going after what I wanted just because they weren't brave enough to go after it, or like they, if they were me, they wouldn't do that. And it's like, yeah, that's the tea, honey. Like you're not me. Like you're not gonna be able to relate to what I got going on because you have your own stuff going on and I have my own stuff going on. Like we're all on different journeys and stuff like that. So it's really interesting how it's like we try to, in a way, by expanding our worldview and like trying to see the world in a bigger place, we kind of just instill more binaries in there and then make it more complicated and like add more mazes to the puzzle. And by doing that, we're like, yeah, we can see more of the maze now, but it's, you're still in the maze. Like you're not out of it. You're not supposed to add more to the maze to make sense of the layout. You're supposed to find your way out, if you understand. But yeah, guys, I think that's all for today. Um oh yeah, I got a new mic. I hope you guys like the audio. I hope you guys can actually hear me now. Because I didn't even watch the last YouTube video back fully. I only watched like a little bit and I was like, damn, I'm so quiet. Like I put the mic down and I was like, wow, like why did I even do that? Like I thought it was gonna be annoying for you guys to see that, but then I was like, wait, like there was no need to do that. Like there was no need to do that. Anyways, I think on the next video, yeah, I'm gonna talk about, or the next podcast, I'm gonna talk about women and like relationships and stuff like that, because I feel like that's something that I don't touch upon or like talk about a lot, that I have a lot of knowledge and like experience of. And yeah, I'm gonna do that for you guys because I don't know, like you guys like hear me talk, so I'm gonna talk, you know? But yeah, what else? Let me know if you guys wanna like bake pancakes with me or like bake with me and stuff like that, because I love baking. So I don't know how that's gonna work, like with me talking and baking. We'll figure it out, guys. You know, like I don't. The other YouTubers do it. I don't know how they do it. I'm literally just winging it as we're going. Like this is literally just trial and error vibes. Like Jenna Marbles sitting cross-legged, like doing whatever vibes. You know, like this is where we're at right now. I don't even know the direction of this channel, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. So yeah, I hope you have a good week. It's already Tuesday. I was meant to film this yesterday, but today is Tuesday, the 1st of October. New month, new era, whatever. Halloween. I should film like a Halloween video. Anyways, yeah, Halloween. I'm actually excited. Like I have a costume. I have a costume. Let me know if you guys want to do like, or like if you want me to do like boyfriend ASMR or something like that. Something funny and cute for Halloween, because I won't lie, I don't like, I love scary vibes, but I don't like scary vibes, you know, like I like the comfort of autumn. I don't really focus on the scary vibes. I like the coziness, the cutesy coziness. So yeah, thank you for watching. Um say whatever in the comments, guys. You can talk. Like I actually love hearing, like, bro, I remember one of the videos, like so many people commented and like I literally almost teared up because I was like, oh my gosh, like people are actually seeing my stuff. Like people are actually like have experiences, and like there were people telling their stories in my comments, and I was like, this is so, oh my gosh, this is so cute and stuff. But yeah, and more fashion videos coming up. Um, it's New York fashion. Well, not New York Fashion Week. It's just fashion era right now, and there's just a lot of cool stuff coming out. So I'll probably make a video on that. But I don't know. I don't know if I will, because I don't want my channel to be fashion focused. Like that was just one of my really cool videos. Like that video went not super big, but like big for my channel. And that's cool and all, but that's not even like what I focus on. Like I love fashion and stuff like that, and I love like art and stuff like that. But I don't know if I want to like continuously like look at fashion stuff, you know? But I'll see. I'll see how I feel, and depending on what you guys like, and I don't know, maybe I'll do something for you guys, you know? I mean, as much as I say this channel is mostly for me, you guys are also watching it, and like, to be fair, nah, let me not even, I was about to lie. I was about to say something that I didn't even mean. Let me keep it a buck with myself. This is my channel, and I do actually just do what I want here. Like, I'm not gonna pander to you guys. Sorry. But if you like what I've got going on, you're always welcome here. I love you guys. I hope you have a good rest of your week or a few days, depending on when I upload my next video. And I'll see you soon. Bye bye.